What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing well. Back in Maryland once again, and we're working on the Jeep, hopefully to make some more progress on the frame. If you watched our last video, then you know what we ended with, and as you can see here, not much has changed. Everything is still welded and mocked up. We are changing a couple things, one being this bracket. Not very happy with this and the weld space here, so we're gonna put this bracket on and have a lot more places to weld onto the frame. There's a lot going on. We're gonna take the thing completely apart again so we can move the frame around, twist it, flip it, weld everything, make sure it's all perfect. In addition to everything you see, we are changing the springs and shocks. I have all new Skyjacker components over there that we'll show you when we'll unbox them, give you guys a peek at those. But yeah, all these Fox shocks are coming off, the rock crawler springs are coming off, ready to make some progress.
Yeah, aside from everything you just said, we got a lot of sanding to do too to get this frame prepped for painting.
Yeah, once we have everything where we want it on the frame, we're gonna have to clean it all up and get it ready for paint, because that's gonna be one of the next big parts of this process.
Yeah, that's gonna make a big difference.
Now that we have the frame completely stripped of everything, we can start working on getting these little chintzy brackets cut off, and we can start welding on these much beefier ones. In the last video, I told you guys that we had cut and modified these from Barnes 4-wheel drive because we needed to clearance the skid plate, and just not happy with how much surface area we have to weld to the frame. So we have another set of these, and we're going to use the entire thing. We may have to modify them a little bit, but we'll be able to plug weld in the center here up on the frame, and then we'll have a lot more surface area to weld, so it'll be a lot stronger. That's what we're going to do now. We're going to cut that off. We have the bolt hole marked so we know where to line it up. And then I think from there we're going to start flipping the frame around so we can fully weld everything in and not worry about welding sideways, just because we want the welds to be pretty for not professional welders.
That's much better.
Is that a double?
No.
That's a single?
Yeah.
That's good.
All right, I told you guys I was going to give you a sneak peek at the new suspension products we're going to be running. We're taking off the old stuff. We're going to be putting on some new Skyjacker components. This is their dual rate springs, so that we have the rear and the front, and we have their 2.0 ADX front and rear shocks. The one thing I'm very excited about is the valving in the shocks is smoother than what I have on there now, so the on-road and off-road performance should be a lot better. The ride quality should be a lot better. So that's the number one thing I'm looking forward to. Plus, it's an awesome company to support. Coming from a family-owned business, they're family-owned for a long time, for I think since the 70s. I could be wrong. I'll put the year that they were started on here, but it's cool to support cool companies that are also supporting the off-road industry, because it's getting harder and harder to find. Plus, to see this come full circle, his Jeep CJ7, which was his first Jeep he built, had an original Skyjacker and still has the original Skyjacker suspension on it.
Yeah, even those back then, they were kind of innovative, and they had what's called a soft ride suspension. I think the leaf springs were designed to be a little bit smoother, softer. They didn't have as much bounce. So that's what I ran with the CJ7, then ultimately put it on the CJ5 that my wife has.
And that suspension's been on there for a long time. I was joking with him that it's probably from like the 1910s that thing has been on there, because how old he is. But in all reality, I think it's been on there since the late 80s. And the Jeep still is on the road today and drives perfect, and the ride is great. So it's cool to kind of see, this is my first Jeep. We're going to be running Skyjacker products on it. He's got his first Jeep. It's got Skyjacker products. So it'll be pretty cool to have this on the Jeep, aside from performance, just because of the branding itself. Wanted to show you guys what and why we're running this on the TJ, and excited to get it on the trails and see how this performs off-road. I think I just laid some of the best welds of my life. I'm very happy with how these turned out. Check that out. That's probably the best weld I've ever laid on anything of ours. It's, to me, that's beautiful. Some of you guys who are professionals may look at that and go, ugh, but you know what? For what we're doing and the amount of experience we have being self-taught, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, my brother, your Uncle Randy, self-taught, and he started out with stick weld, and he did some pretty freaking amazing welds. So I think for self-teaching ourselves, it's not bad. No formal classes.
Yeah, so this is on the other side. This was the first weld today that I did, and it was a different technique than the other side. This was more of a back and forth, and the other side was like a kind of a swirly motion. I don't like that, so I may go over it and just make sure it's stronger. I don't like how much space there is between these two. I think it could be a better weld, so I may go back over it and make sure it's covering more of these. But other than that, I think that side looks good. The front suspension brackets are welded in, and we're gonna get ready to weld a cross brace in right here across, which we have on my other frame, and eventually another one down here across the frame. This just helps with twisting of the frame. I really don't think this frame will ever twist, just because of how thick the steel is, but just for precautionary.
Yeah, we're doing some round DOM on this instead of the flat or the rectangular stuff we did on your other one. So it'll just be a little bit more, I think, cleaner looking and not as bulky. I think right about here.
36 and a half.
Ew! God! Sorry. All right, let's dude, we can make this up by sanding it a little bit.
In what world? In this world. Yeah, I mean, I'm good with it. All right, well, the microphone wasn't recording everything that we just did, so maybe you heard or didn't hear, but I was trying to just hold it and lift it because I'm tired of using the damn engine voice from the 1800s, and now we're back to using it, so. So what we're doing now is figuring out where we want the track bar to go. So we have it in the axle, and then we have our bracket right here that we're then going to mock up on the frame. See where we want it to go.
So it's gonna be fine here. It's just we got to get this closer to the frame underneath, which is gonna pull this up. We have to notch this to get this to match this angle, so that this side.
Yeah, the only thing we need to be careful of is it hitting this.
Right.
So I don't want to go too far back. Let's go measure the one out there.
All right.
So we just went and measured my original frame where the track bar is, and it's 15.5 inches back from the front frame horn. So we're going to measure how far back. I don't think we necessarily need a precise measurement, but you need to hold this?
See, it's just not flat. The drove frame. So.
We can also.
Oh, I think that's going to be fine.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. But we can also, like, this can be lengthened. We can always make another one. It's not.
Totally agree.
Made that one.
I think that's actually in much better shape and position than.
My only concern is it clearancing the difference.
I know. You got to realize.
And if it doesn't, we just cut it.
Yeah, I'm confident, Luke, that your other one was just as close, and I don't know if it's. I think it's the same length.
Probably.
It's the same one,
Yeah.
basically.
Anyways, we took a little lunch break after getting this stuff welded to let this stuff cool down. We walk outside and some headers showed up for my Jeep.
Header,
same thing. Header, whatever.
Yeah, this is stainless from Hooker. It's their Performance Series Blackheart.
I think the one on my Jeep's original. The original
It
one.
is. Yeah, it's all cast iron and stuff.
Yeah, so.
Kind of weird how we were going to do this the last time we were engine. We swapped the engine out. Never got a chance to. Oh, that is a pretty serious header. That's pretty cool.
Sweet. It's not like a huge one for an LS, but
No, all in good time.
even for straight six, this is going to be pretty sweet. Even just making it sound a little bit throatier than normal, and
Maybe kind of a mild performance gain,
yeah,
potentially.
I'm not trying to get a ton of horsepower out of it, but just to upgrade it when we can, especially having the motor out of this, and we're able to upgrade these things while the motor's out. It's going to make our life a lot easier. So
Yep.
this will be cool, and I think we talked about getting the other Y section.
Yeah, they're wide pipe, and then
Yeah.
they have there's a whole nother exhaust system that we can add on there if we want.
Yeah, so we may end up doing that, but this was the start. This is the hard part to replace when your motor is still in the Jeep. So Cool.
So we'll add that to our list.
We went ahead and cut another piece of tube for the second brace. On my original frame we had two. So we have the one back here near the sway bar mounts, and then this one went right in front of the rear frame bracket for the suspension. So, gonna cut that again?
No, I think if we can just clean up the ends a little bit, it'll drop right in. Is that shot?
No. One. Oh!
Make it even.
Holy crap.
Gotta come up one more notch.
Lift with your back. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, just take your damn time.
I will next time.
All right, so what we're doing now is getting it set up so we can bring the cab and the bed over, place them down so we can get measurements for the front tub mount on the bed and the rear tub mount for the cab.
Yeah, even though everything should be in the same spot, because that's all stock locations up there.
Yeah, but we still need to figure out.
This is stock, it's just gonna be
Because,
the front bed mount and the rear cab mount.
yeah, those two mounts we put on after the fact once we stretch the Jeep, so.
And this one's narrower, so, you know, we might have to make some adjustments to the brackets or, right? All right.
Swear to God, dude. So we're gonna do that now. Good morning. It is the next day. We're out in the garage. It feels really nice outside. It is not 100 degrees yet, so we got the garage door open and we're enjoying the cool air. Want to give you guys another update on where we're leaving the Jeep for today. We have some other work on the YJ we need to get done. So as you can see, the bed and the cab are on the Jeep. They're on the frame.
Yeah.
On the frame, everything looks really good. It all fits very well. The only things we have to do next, and I don't know if I already mentioned this, so if you're hearing it again, I apologize. We have a bed mount there and a cab mount there that need to get welded on. I have to order another set of those from Throttle Down Customs, and I believe we already have a set for those, right? Yeah, so we already have a set for the bed. It's just getting the ones ordered for the cab. And we should be good to go. I'm gonna order all new body mounts. There is a 1-inch body lift on this Jeep. I'm gonna order all new ones. So if you guys have any recommendations for body mounts you like, I've always ordered just generic ones off probably like Amazon or something like that. So if you guys have body mounts that you really like, make sure you let us know. The ones on here are just completely trashed. But yeah, I think it's been a very productive time being up here because I'm still in Tennessee, so coming back and forth is our time is valuable, and trying to use as much time as possible to get the Jeep done and help him out so he's not trying to do this all by himself. Yeah. Is there anything you want to add?
No, the next goal is while you're gone is, you know, we'll get everything back off, we'll start getting the frame sanded down, get it ready for paint, get that done with the Rust Encapsulator Plus. And I think that's about it. And then by the time you come back up, we can probably start mounting all this back together, get the axles back in. I think we're good to go.
Yeah, and just to show you guys what we're going to be painting it with, it is this Eastwood Rust Encapsulator Plus. This is the same stuff that is on the YJ. So the YJ has the same stuff on it. I think it looks really nice. We've always ever done a
satin finish, and it has some sort of gloss to it. And I really like the matte finish. It's the first time we've used the matte on the YJ, and I think it looks really nice.
Yeah, and even though the frame's really clean and it's pretty sealed up, I think there's only a few holes that we need to worry about, but we're gonna definitely do some internal frame coating on it. It's something we've never done before on frames and any of our work or projects, but it's definitely a good time to try this out. So we're gonna shoot all this inside the frame, get it coated as well as we can. That way we'll be 100% rust-free.
Yeah, and I know several people have mentioned using 3M's wax, cavity wax, and
Basically the same thing.
yeah. The only thing is we need to get like long.
Yeah, so they make extension tubes.
Yeah, I know we need that.
Yeah, we'll get those.
Especially for right in the frame. But
Right.
there's like in the skid plate where the skid plate bolts up. There's the 3 bolt holes, so we'll be able to spray it up inside there, and I think we'll have plenty to distribute on the inside of the frame. But I'm not worried about the inside. I'm worried about keeping the outside as perfect as possible.
Absolutely.
So we're making progress. I appreciate everybody that's been following along. It's been awesome. And if you guys haven't seen the first part of this where we tore the Jeep completely apart, make sure you go watch that. I'll add it up here somewhere. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it probably wasn't the most exciting thing to watch. We're just getting the little things done. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you guys. Appreciate it.